Johannesburg, the largest city in South Africa, located in what is now called Gauteng province. Johannesburg is home to possibly the largest hospital in the world, called Hani Baragwanath. The hospital is located in the center of Soweto township, which is on the southwestern outskirts of the city of Johannesburg. Soweto has always had a history of violence due to the nature of the apartheid regime, and that violence has provided the doctors at Baragwanath some of the finest training that is unequaled anywhere else in the world. South Africa has a bulging population now of over 45 million people, all living together in not quite total harmony in what is now called the new South Africa. My challenge during this film was to show what life is like for a few struggling professionals and to show what the future holds for them.
I'm Dr. Kyte. I'm a certified orthopedic surgeon. I've been working at Baragwanath for 8 years.
It's a crazy place. It's just a dynamic, crazy mixture of everything that you could imagine. It's an old war hospital. It's actually named after an old surgeon from the 1940s, but it's just a crazy hodgepodge. You know, in the old days, it was the kind of bastion of against apartheid. You know, the doctors and the people working there were doing their best for the underprivileged, the people who couldn't afford anything else, who were being oppressed by the apartheid regime. It's huge. It's the biggest hospital in the world, 3,500 beds. It's a huge sprawling hospital which has new parts and old parts, and but some that date back to 1940 and are atrocious. Others are new and state of the art.
But as far as the patient care and the medicine, is it better now or was it better 20 years ago?
Well, I can say it was better in 20 years ago, because even shortage also contributes to this, because we are very much short-staffed here.
Right, because of course the government and state hospitals are essentially academic institutions as opposed to the private facilities. As you'll see later, you know, Baragwanath on a weekend at the payday at the end of the month, it could easily be Beirut. I mean, Iraq, I tell you, when I looked at those pictures of those hospitals in Baghdad there, I tell you, it reminded me a lot of Baragwanath after a very busy night. A Sowetan person lives for the day because he literally doesn't know whether it'll be his last or not. I trained at Wits University, which is a 6-year course, 6-year undergraduate course.
From first year to sixth year, all your courses are chosen for you. You don't choose anything. You basically, after sixth year, choose where you want to go.
And then one has a year's internship, which one does around the country, and then there's a year of community service, so it's called, where one works often out in the rural areas and gets exposed and has to actually get exposed to incredible amounts of pathology, and actually has to manage one's own patients and take a very active role in initiating and propagating patient treatment. Then one does a residency program. My residency program was 6 years long, where one is exposed to general surgery, trauma all the time, as well as intensive therapy and various other modalities. Obviously, all the surgical specialties as well.
You get basically a blanket coat of everything.
Okay, there's a rotation at about 4 or 5 hospitals with various exposures. Baragwanath is obviously the main hospital for Soweto. The hospital is Johannesburg Hospital, which is a big hospital covering the Hillbrow, Johannesburg area. Then there's Helen Joseph Hospital, and another hospital which is purely a child and mother and child hospital called Coronation Hospital, specifically for mother and child. And one also has the up in the East Rand, the Boksburg Benoni or Tambo Memorial Hospital. The Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital is obviously the biggest one of those, and has the largest trauma load. And one comes out with a fairly holistic training at the end of the day.
Doctor training in South Africa is so great because we see everything. If there's something that is going to present on the planet, it's going to present at Barrow first.
Baragwanath has changed many a doctor, but no doctor has ever changed Baragwanath.
As it is now, it's just myself and one of the
doctor here. So you can imagine if a full bus of patients, 20, 30 cases coming in at a go, it gets very difficult. But we enjoy it. We love it here. Colin Amos. I am a senior medical officer. I'm a trauma doctor here. And I basically stabilize patients as they come in.
So, Dr. Kyte, how long have you worked at Baragwanath?
About 1 hour.
And you're not there right now?
Now I've been there for about 7 years. Let's work it out. About 8 years.
Has Baragwanath been a great hospital to train at?
Oh, fantastic. Incredible. There's only one Baragwanath.
As patients sit in queues, they first have to be seen by a doctor to make an assessment, to decide whether this particular patient needs to either go to the ward or needs a second look. As you can imagine, the patient queues up. By the time the patient sees the doctor, it's like 2-3 hours later. And the doctor then at that point decides, okay, I think you're sick enough to be seen by a doctor. You've got to go and open the file. Now the patient rejoins another queue to go and open a file. By the time the patient is finished with the file, they've got to rejoin the queue that they were on originally. This is when they get seen. Now this is what causes the delay. Now patients get seen 4, 5, 6 hours later from the time when they walk in. A lot of the cases, you'd find I refer patients at 9 o'clock in the morning from one of the local clinics. But when I get here, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, I still find the same patients here. And then, if the doctor has seen the patient and the doctor feels the patient is not sick enough to be admitted, and maybe they just get a Panado or an antibiotic, whatever they were not able to get at the local clinic, and they get discharged. But obviously the pharmacy is closed at 4 o'clock. That's now what, 8, 9 o'clock at night. Patients got to go back to the communities.
Fazil, Nini. Mtlandi. Yeah, now here's one. Okay, so where's the problem? For him?
Yeah.
Baba, keep a jacket. P, spins up. Spins up. The gunshot Namtlandi. Stabbed.
Oh, it's a mess. It's a knife. Yeah.
Mess. Paga esse cacu. Peso. Sharp. Tem formula. 22, eh?
Yeah.
It works. What actually happened? When's in Jan? Kulumi singisi sis. Kulumi singisi na.
One.
When?
Yeah, it's cold.
When? Kulumi singisi. Eh?
I know him.
He knows. Okay. Tell us what happened. Who stabbed you?
His brother.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
His brother?
Yeah,
He's a 22-year-old male who's been stabbed several times by his brother in some domestic dispute. And he has what we call a pneumothorax. What's happened? That knife, it's gone in, punctured the lung. The lung is like a balloon. It's pumped, it's blown, absolutely. And now the air and the blood is around the lung. And he needs a drain, which is going to let the lung heal.
Okay.
It will take 2 to 3 days. At the end of the day, I'm doing, my specialty is orthopedic surgery, and if you want to be a carpenter, you need to do carpentry. And the exposure here is huge. You get shown the right way to do things, and you get given opportunity to practice and hone your skills. Within 3 years of practice, I've already done over 1,300 operations by myself.
And you don't think you would have ever had those kind of numbers outside the country?
Numbers, no. Not in 3 years of registration.
He's got a fracture
From?
a gunshot left elbow.
Do you know why they shot him?
They robbed him. They
Why?
took his cell phone.
Just for his cell phone?
Yeah, just for his cell phone, and then they shot him and they fled off with his phone.
19 right here? And where's the bullet now? Where's the bullets? Right there under the skin.
They took my phone and 80 rand.
80 rand. And they shot you for that?
Yeah.
This is what Barrow specializes in, gunshots and stabs and stuff.
That trauma includes motor vehicle accidents, several gunshots. I remember counting the one day actively because I took an interest in it. The one Friday night at the end of the month, there were 60 gunshot wounds.
Without sounding like I'm exaggerating, I'd say about 15 to 20 would be about the average number of cases of gunshots we get here.
The trauma is basically related to activities like end of the month, when people have money and they're partying and they get involved in activities.
It's actually a little bit better now than look. It got worse over the election period, and it's now improved slightly, but it's still crazy. And the thing about Soweto has always been a very violent part of the country, but the thing about it now is that the violence has spread to all sorts of other areas around the country.
The violence is getting better, really, politically. It's just that people have to do other things to fend for themselves, which is bad.
Well, the thing is that tonight's an extremely quiet night, but it's only midnight on a Friday evening. And Friday evenings, we know that there's a massive rush at approximately 12:30 to 1 o'clock in the morning, so we never count our chickens before they've hatched. And we're expecting the local Shabeens, which is the local traditional cultural pub, to close at about just after midnight, and then there's a lot of violence that happens, and we'd be expecting quite a rush at that stage. Baragwanath's particularly busy on a payday night, which is next weekend.
How is the violence nowadays compared to over the years?
It's much better.
So when was it the worst?
Before 94.
And
We used to see a lot of violence for various reasons.
so why do you think it's got better now over the years?
People are more relaxed. They know what they vote for now, and although they're not working, that could be the source or the cause of the violence now than before. Before they used to have a lot of jobs, but they had problems, politically. But politically, they are more relaxed.
Armed robbery, housebreaking, mugging, fighting. So fighting you really get the most in the residential areas. Yeah, in town you hardly get complaints in town at night because businesses are closed. But where you find flats, residential places, you will always get fighting, disturbance of the peace, shooting incidents. That's the most you get.
Friday is a very busy day. As you can imagine, people have just left their jobs. A lot of the drinking goes on. This is when we see a lot of violent cases coming in.
Every weekends you become busy. Month end it becomes worse.
We're hoping for things to improve, but if you take Nigeria as a yardstick, you can wait a long time.
Okay, the incidents that happened today was there was 3 armed robberies so far, and one murder there in Bray Street in town. A guy that was found dead by a PPC building in town, and like I said, 3 other business robberies. Then the stolen cars and hijacked cars for today since 6 o'clock this morning. Altogether it was 47 so far that we received. So it's from hijacked and stolen vehicles. It's actually sometimes quiet. It's actually quiet. I gave statistics to other media companies. It was a couple of months ago and all that. It reaches, especially Fridays and weekends, it reaches about 90, 97, there about in the 90s. So it's actually a very quiet night tonight.
I am myself accused. I admit that I was one of the persons who helped to form Umkhonto Wesizwe. When the dust shed in the vote of Soweto, I have dedicated my life to this struggle of the African people.
The overall general consensus from the people I spent time with while shooting this film, from doctors to the South African police, told me that the crime rate had gradually decreased over the years. I found that for farmers, this was not the case. Farm killings are at an all-time high. I'm not exactly sure why this is and why farmers are being targeted. I can only think that it could be because they are landowners, they are by majority Afrikaans speaking, and this smacks of the old apartheid regime.
Yes, I'm James Witters. I'm on a farm 50 km from Johannesburg, Gauteng. And I'm staying on a farm here now for 12 years. If things go on like that, I don't know. I don't know how many farmers will be left if things go on like that. It's going on now. Because the world don't know what's going on in South Africa, actually. And if they don't do something about it, we don't know what's going to happen in this country. The country will go the same way as the other countries around South Africa.
Criminal-wise, I mean, the trend in crime, if I had made a comparison maybe with some other countries, I would know whether it's worse, but I wouldn't say it's that bad.
Oh, I think more than they can kill, better for them. I don't know what their story is, but every day you can read in the papers that they're killing farmers. Last Friday they tried to kill me. Oh, he just walked up straight to me and shot me in the face. He didn't ask me anything, he just shot me in the face. In 3 months, it's the 4th time now. And this time I wasn't lucky. My little son called the police and they came out. They were quick here, there was a couple of guys there. And to make sure that my son was safe and so on. My son is 8 years old. And he was very brave. They nearly killed me while I was lying there in a bush. And that's why I tried to unloosen my feet and start walking slowly to the N12 so that somebody could help me. And an English chap from Nelspruit picked me up and he took me to the Delmas Hospital so that they could help me there. Terrorists are in South Africa and not on the borders. If they want to do something, they must start getting the terrorists out of South Africa now so that we can have a good country here. That's how our farmers feel about it. Well, if I can leave the farm tomorrow, get something else, I'll do it. Because I don't know what will I do if something happened to my wife and my kids. And then I will also land up in a jail. And I wouldn't like to sit in jail with all these criminals, because then they're going to call me also a criminal. I know it. And that's what they're waiting for. If they can get you in jail, they will be very happy.
This is my home, my family's here, my close friends are here. So I have no desire to leave South Africa. However, there are things that would force that.
Richard, what's happening?
As you can see, the experience is vast, the pathology is gross, and this is an incredible training environment because one has exposure to things. The only major problem is the HIV, which we encounter every day. Approximately 30 to 40% incidence of that.
So a lot of people are sick because of the HIV virus.
You'd think about, say, in about 10 cases that come in, but I would estimate about 3-4 cases.
Virtually all of my colleagues have been on AZT and 3TC, two main antiretroviral drugs that we use for prophylaxis here. Almost all my colleagues have at one time or another been had some sort of HIV exposure, albeit splashes in the eye, albeit needle stick injuries, and I've had to go on these drugs. I myself have also taken them.
There may not be AIDS, but at least there's something that makes us suspect that it might be HIV.
Not great drugs. You feel totally listless. One has to carry on with one's work. But luckily, the incidence of conversion, seroconversion, is very low. Touch wood these days.
It's bad. They're going to infect other people. They infect more and more people daily. So we need to control that.
So would you rather see more people coming in with violent crime and less AIDS?
That is also bad. We need to curb it. So we need to prevent on either side. We need to prevent both.
How can you prevent the AIDS?
The AIDS, through education, and then medically we help the ones that are very sick.
In the early 90s, there was a huge exodus of South African graduates. So we lost between 50 and 60% of the graduate classes, and what that means is that
so they went overseas to seek higher paying.
They did, yeah. They went to go and seek an average 10 to 12 times the going rate in South Africa. So obviously the incentive to go over there to pay off a study loan. Medical fees are expensive in South Africa. They're very partially subsidized by the government as opposed to many other countries like the UK where it's virtually free. And so the thing is that the incentive is almost, it's almost a necessity, because the thing is, to go straight into a residency program after one's internship without having paid off a student loan, and then still expect to have a house and a car and all the things that go with it, possibly start a family, God forbid. I mean, honestly, it's almost an impossibility. A surgeon, that's orthopedic or general or plastic or whatever, any type of surgeon in South Africa, would earn between 10 to 15,000 rand a month. That's roughly 180 to 200,000 rand a year, which is approximately, it's approximately 12 to 15,000 pounds per year, whereas in the United Kingdom, an average orthopedic surgeon would earn in the region of 100,000 pounds per year. So roughly 10 times what one earns here in South Africa. I certainly at this stage would never consider staying in the government practice simply because of the working conditions, simply because of the lack of equipment, and I would be wanting to move out into the private sector. So therefore, to stay in South Africa, one has to consider personal reasons and rather than financial or even professional to a large extent. Crime is the prime reason why people leave South Africa. As I say, because a comfortable living, to my mind, means a materialistic, and in other words, from a materialistic standpoint, what type of education your children can have, what type of comfortable house you can have, what type of car you drive, what type of pool you have in your garden or tennis court, or which club you join to. From that point of view, that's the one side. And the other aspect, of course, which makes a standard of living or a comfortable lifestyle, is safety. You cannot have a comfortable lifestyle or a good standard of living without feeling safe. My mother and my father have both been held up at gunpoint. My sister's had a motor car stolen. All of us are victims of crime. Every single person in this country is repeatedly a victim of crime. Everyone's had at least one or two burglaries, had things stolen on a regular basis. It's a regular occurrence. As the two reasons why people would leave is lack of being able to afford a comfortable, materialistic lifestyle and not being able to feel safe.
Even though things are so difficult here and you have a choice to leave and do engineering, which is much easier, 9-to-5 job, I can't think of doing anything else. And I enjoy medicine. So I want to become a doctor.
How long are you going to give it that you stay in South Africa as a doctor? Are you ever going to leave the country?
I'll basically review it on a yearly basis and see. But I mean, Africa's my home. Africa is my home. So we'll see what happens, I'm here for the duration.